What up, my peeps? It's your Knuckle Big Rucker, back at you again with another action figure review, courtesy of Marvel Legends. And what have we here? A new wave to talk about. We've got the X-Men. They are back, and this time we have as the Build-A-Figure for the wave, this will be the Bonebreaker wave. Bonebreaker is a member of the villainous Reavers, headed by Donald Pierce of the Hellfire Club. Another member of that crew would be Lady Deathstrike. So we are building that team, which is cool. We've got a couple other Reavers as well. We'll talk about that probably when we get Bonebreaker all together. Speaking of Bonebreaker, there is no Build-A-Figure piece with Wolverine. He usually doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, and he's usually the double packed in any case wave assortment. What we got here, you can see this Wolverine is from his when he was resurrected. He had been taken out, was encased in adamantium. He technically was deleted, and as with almost all Marvel characters, he was resurrected. He came back, and he had a new ability, seemingly. His adamantium claws could actually get hot. So, yeah, you see that his costume's a little bit different here, just slightly different. It's still a sort of tiger stripe motif, but yeah, you see the colors are tweaked, and but we'll get a better look at that when we get him out of the package. And you see the X-Men logo, and of course Wolverine down there at the banner. Turning the packaging to the side, you see some of that artwork with Wolverine and those claws. Then you look on the back here, we've got that same artwork, and you can kind of sort of see the color of the claws, trying to signify that they are being heated up. We've got the readout: suddenly resurrected and bearing superheated adamantium claws, once again Wolverine must fight to reclaim his freedom and his mind. Looking below, you see an illustration of Bonebreaker to our left there, and then you see all of the characters in this wave, including the 7 that are needed. I should say the 6 that are needed to build Bonebreaker. You've got Siren, Havoc, Vulcan, Maggot, Darwin, and old school Sabretooth, the original first appearance style Sabretooth. You got more of that artwork there. You've got the X logo at the top, got the bottom, and yeah, that's about what we got there. Let's get Wolvie out of the pack and see what's what.
This is Hulk. Hulk friend Ruckus asked Hulk to come here to talk to puny human. Ruckus say you come, you watch, but you don't subscribe. So Hulk here to tell puny human, subscribe, or Hulk will smash. Hulk friend Ruckus, good friend, good channel. So like, share, subscribe, do what Hulk say, please.
Wolvie's lone accessory is an additional head sculpt, a maskless head sculpt. Also with him, we'll call it raging. As you already have seen, the masked head sculpt is neutral, which is pretty amusing considering that all the artwork has Wolverine masked, and we'll call it raging, but he's neutral there. Anyway, we've got this head sculpt here, and looks pretty decent with the eyes and the mouth. The hair is black, no shading of any kind, dry brushing, whatever you want to call it, but the head is definitely looking great. I believe this is photoreal technology for this head. It looks very good. So here we have Wolverine on our rotating platter, of course giving a 360-degree visual front and back so we can see what we're dealing with here. And first glance, of course, it's Wolvie on the standard Wolverine buck, which is it's still a great buck. It's shorter, so it suits Wolverine for his height. You know Logan is height challenged. We all know that, and it's stocky, so that's all good. The colors, as I stated, are different, even though it's still maintaining the tiger stripe motif, if you will. But you have a different shade, both of yellow and the blues there. Then, of course, you got those claws. You see the red in those claws. The other thing noticeable about the claws, these are the same claws that we got with the X-Force Wolverine from a few years ago, a couple years ago. And they are the new and improved style of claws that we get with Wolverine. You know, they're thicker, so they're more rigid. They're not all bent up, and you have to try to de-warp them, so to speak, with a little heat to get them straightened out. These are straight, and they have a cornered hooks in them, as he has been drawn. His claws have been drawn that way in the past, so looks pretty good there. But we'll take a closer look at the claws and, of course, Wolverine himself when we get him off of this stand. Taking a closer look at Wolverine, you can see nothing too different other than the paint apps. You know, all they've done is just repaint him to the costume that he was wearing when he was resurrected. He, of course, is in a different costume now, his Krakoan costume, if you will. But yeah, you see the nice blues there. There's the striping there for the tiger striping aspect of it. You've got the nice paint on his belt buckle. Looks pretty cool. As we zoom in, we could see the nice paint work there. You got the red backdrop and the I wouldn't call it gold. It's more I guess it's like a goldish, a platinum color. Looks pretty good though. Very nice. The belt itself is molded plastic blue. It's a lighter shade of blue than the blue that is on the figure there. And yeah, so that looks pretty nice. There's nothing going on in the back, as you could see. Looking at that, the claws there, you see the red there in the claws. That's to signify the heat, and there are those hooks right there, as you can see. So yeah, pretty cool. Looking further down, you see that all we have there is the boots, also in that blue, and highlighted with the black trim, even on the feet there, the back. And then, as you can see, there isn't really anything going on too much in the back. You still see that tiger striping there, and yeah, that's about it as far as that goes. As far as this articulation, we've standard articulation for the Wolverine, but we've never reviewed a Wolverine on this channel, so we'll go through it. So you see, he can look up that far, pretty far, look down that far. He's on a disc hinge, by the way. You can do the 360, and you're not going to get much in the way of attitude. Shoulders, he can only get it up about, that looks like about 75 degrees there. You can get the 360 swivel. You see that the shoulder pad is connected to the actual shoulder, to the arm itself, I should say, and it can swivel 360. It'll swivel where it looks kind of strange, but you got it like that. At least it won't impede the rotation. You've got bicep swivel, you've got double jointed elbows, and you're only going to get about 90 because, like I said, Wolvie's stocky, so his bicep is going to impede that. So you also have wrist rotation, you have a wrist hinge. That's on both sides the same way. As far as his torso articulation, he's got a crunch. He can go that far forward. He can go that far back. He gets his waist rotation right there at the waist. So you got that, and it's hidden by his belt. His hips go out that far. He can get his legs that far forward, which is about 90, and go back about that much. He's got thigh rotation. He does have double jointed knees. He has a boot swivel, which is great considering that you've got these right here at the top of his boots. And then of course he can point his toe forward that far, up that far. He has ankle pivot and holes, peg holes, the bottom of his feet. Here's a look at Wolfie with his additional head sculpt, the only accessory that came with him. And just for a bit of comparison, someone famous once said, I can do this all day when you're talking about Wolverine figures. But I digress. We're not going to do it all day. What we will do is show the figures that have the iterations of his claws, the different iterations. You've got on our left, you've got Tiger Stripe Wolverine, the real Tiger Stripe, sporting the bone claws. That was we got that in the Love Triangle 3-pack. On our right, we've got Wolverine shirtless and a little beat up with the head sculpt, and I've got custom claws because these came with those aforementioned flimsy claws that I spoke of. And yeah, as always, gotta go third party sometimes to enhance your figures, my peeps. So you got to keep that in mind. That the shirtless Wolverine came from the Wolverine 5-pack that we got sometime last year. So to sum it all up, another wave of X-Men, another Wolverine. We did get a pause on actually getting Logan, I believe, from the last X-Men wave, if I'm not mistaken, but of course it was made up when we got the 5-pack. But anyway, we've got Wolverine Resurrection, I guess we can call him, with the Heat Claws, or Heat Claws Wolverine, whichever we want to call him. He is light on the accessories, only comes with an additional head sculpt, which I am displaying right now on the rotating platter. He does have the banging new style claws, which are much better than the flimsy plastic looking ones that we were getting previously. The paint decos on the claws to try to demonstrate them being heated is a great touch. You gotta love the meat hook aspect of the claws. The coloring is nice. This variation of the costume is great. The coloring on the buckle, the X on the buckle, is beautiful. And yeah, it's another Wolverine. He's going to go right there on my Wolverine display where I pulled those two that I used for comparisons. My homage to Wolverine. I've got yeah, just about every Wolverine that, well, I can't even say just about. I can say every Wolverine that has ever come out is in that display, with the exception of one. I've got the brown and mustard Wolverine is on my Sentinel display, chopping up the head of the lead Sentinel in the display. That's the only one that isn't on the Wolverine display, but I'll have to find a spot for this guy. Oh, and it's all coming back to me. I also have the Krakoan Wolverine is in the X-Men versus Nimrod display that I have in my man cave, and one day I'll actually show off some of the displays I have in my man cave, but that's for a later time. And speaking of later, it's time to say later to you guys. It's the end of this review. About to shut it down. Thank you guys once again for rocking with me. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and to be notified, hit the bell So when I upload another video, you will know. Another Wolverine, looking pretty good, camp front. Got a new X-Men wave. Siren is up next. Until the next time, my peeps, remember, the hunt continues, and I'm out. Peace.